It is time right now. We are live, people. We are live and in living color. It is time for Wind Down Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. The laughter has already started. You know,
Yes.
believe it or not, it has started. We sitting here and let's get this thing moving because
That's right.
I can't even tell you what we laughing about, but just know
We chopping it up. That's what we do. We
it's
chopping it
fun.
up.
It's fun. Too bad you can hear it. Um, they're not to repeat it either. So
No.
anyway, welcome to Wind Down Wednesday. Y'all know who I
Yes.
am. I'm Sandy. I'm sitting here with my girl.
Hey, it's Shanice. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We in the middle of the week. What's up?
What's up? In the middle of the week, once again, we are back. So how you been, sis? How you been?
I've been good. I can't complain. I don't like seeing these little ugly bugs, but other than that, I'm just praying one don't fly on me.
Uh,
But I'm cool.
Hey, I hear you. I hear you. My whole thing is if they fly on me, long as they don't I got something for them. Oh, I never did send y'all what I got for them, did I? I'm gonna have to show
Probably not. Nope,
I'm gonna
you
have to show
didn't.
the people.
Where
Hold on.
you go? Where you go? You hit the button.
I did.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but I'm gonna have to show y'all before we get
Yeah.
out of here. I'm prepared and ready for these bugs and these cicadas. I don't mind them. They are bugs, I guess. I don't want them all on my head and in my face. But
A
if they get
nuisance.
on my arms or legs or something, I'm probably ain't gonna do nothing but just brush them off. But they're not as bad yet as people had said they were going to be or they projected to be. So right
Well,
now,
in certain areas, just only in certain areas they are.
yeah, the cicadas are not doing what they were projected to do around my house. So
Thank God.
yes, so far so
So
good,
good.
so good. So how's your week been? How your week been?
It's been great. I celebrated, Gemini season started on Friday for all those that
Oh
are Gemini.
Lord.
What up,
Oh,
what up, what up, what up? Y'all know, got to stay on our good side, of course.
here we
But
go.
Gemini season started Friday, so it was a coworker of mine's birthday, so we hung out at the Cove, so that was fun, Cove 51. So we did that. Hey, Robert, thanks for tuning in.
Robert say
Um,
get some chocolate here and enjoy the chocolate. I know, right? I know.
hey, yeah,
Chocolate on them
yeah.
cicadas and everything will be fine. I don't think so.
Ew. Ew. No, 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 no. No, I'll pass on that one. So yeah, just getting ready for my birthday on Monday, Memorial Day, the holiday, so I was born on my grandmother's birthday, so it's always special to me every year. So yeah,
Okay, okay, okay.
yeah.
So y'all celebrating your birthday?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What we doing? Tell me later.
Um, we in the A. We in the A.
Oh, you in the A?
We in the A. Yes,
You in
ma'am.
the A this weekend?
Yes, ma'am.
Girl, shut your mouth. What the Sam here? Why didn't you tell me you was going to the A? I could have made some arrangements to be down there. What is up?
Let's talk afterwards.
Let's chat afterwards. How about
Yes,
that? Let's chat after.
yes,
Good. I'm glad you had a great week. I ain't,
yes.
Gemini. Yeah, they all
How
right.
about how about you?
My week has been wonderful. It's been laid back, low key, easy going. I have been to several graduations. Kudos to the 2021 graduates
Yes,
from high
definitely.
school and college. It's
Yes,
just phenomenal to see that they can get together due to the pandemic that we had last year. It's a blessing to see some happy faces. Although they struggled to get to where they are now because of the pandemic, but thank God they are here and they
right.
are able to celebrate the moment. But my week has been wonderful. God has been good to
That's right.
me.
I
No
know that's right.
complaints, and I'm blessed and highly favored. My family is doing well. Everybody is doing good. So it's a good week. It's just been a great week. It's been an enjoyable time these last few days. And you and I know
Yes.
when the sun comes out,
Hey, I was just gonna
hey,
say that. Yes, that's the icing on the cake. You hear me? That's the
absolutely.
cherry on top.
Cherry on top. We just got through talking about them cherries, dripping cherries
We
earlier.
sure did.
There we go. Back to talking about them cherries again. Yeah, don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. But welcome back, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Y'all know how we do it. You know, we're not professionals at this. We like doing this. We like talking. We like bringing you something every week. But the things that we bring you are from other people, is from life experiences or something that's been shared or something that we've observed. So
Yep.
today, let's talk about being in a controlled relationship.
Relationship. Woo.
My goodness, what do you consider a controlled relationship? Let me give you a scenario. Here we go with the
Here we
scenario.
go. You know how we do.
You know how we do it. So there's a couple that is married. What's going on, Keisha? You know,
Hey, Keisha.
I'm this much mad at you, this much upset because you know you should have told me. I could have been prepared. You know me, I'd have been like, shoot, 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 and you know I could have. But anyway, I ain't gonna hold it too much against you, my girl. But thanks for tuning in. Control relationships. The scenario. Here we go. Married couple, been together, love each other, I guess. And then again, I have to wonder because the fact of the matter is that they're married, but she's only still with him because of money. So, do you consider or do you think that that's being in a controlled relationship or controlled marriage because she can't get out because the money that is being made by the husband, she's staying? Is that a controlled relationship? Is that a controlled marriage? And if so, does money control it? Is money controlling it? Her happiness is not there. It's like two ships in the night. They under the same roof. You know, they share the same house, but don't share the same bed. Is that a controlled marriage or a controlled relationship? Is she allowing money to keep her where she is? Is she being controlled by the money that he's making? And if so, why? What do you all think? And if you got my number, feel free to call me and share what your thoughts are. But Carolyn, hey, what's going on, my
Thanks,
sister?
Carolyn. Thanks for tuning in.
Carolyn said, nope, it's her choice. That's grief. I mean, yeah, but why would you stay in something that I feel, this is me, it's controlling you. The money is controlling you to stay there. And if you're not happy, why stay in a situation where you're not happy? So therefore, I feel she's being controlled by the money. They don't sleep together. They're not in the same bed together. They ships in the night. They share the same house. She already expressed that she wasn't happy. Keisha says she can get out. The choice is hers, but she chooses not to because of the money. And then I don't know if it's greed or not, Carolyn. I just know she's not happy being in a relationship with being married right now. But the money is the only thing that's keeping her there.
I would say it's probably a deeper root issue. I mean, it's not surface because I've known a few women that have been married and you know, outside of the money, they try to stay just to, you know, because they value their marriage and they wanted to work it out. And so Keisha said, of course, she is accustomed to the life she has. She is happy with the life. And so I think, like I said, it's a deeper rooted issue than her just being codependent on the finances. Because my thing is, there has to be an issue with her tapping into what her inner strengths are, what her inner gifts are, what her abilities are, to be able to make finances outside of the situation. And maybe she's never thought that. Maybe that's a scary place. I mean, even some of us who are business owners, it took us a time. We had to take that leap. We had to believe in ourselves and say, hey, okay, I'm going to try this out. If it doesn't work, you know, I'll just have to figure it out along the way. And so I feel like it's just a deeper issue with her that she hasn't tapped into on why she's allowing surfacely the money to be the issue or the reason why she's not leaving.
Yeah. And we want to give a shout out to it's Mental Health Month. You know, May has been the Mental Health Month.
for
for those
sure.
that didn't know. So mental health is real.
Yep.
Um, that we don't know what the situation is with him. Is he really controlling her because he doesn't want her to leave, and he knows that the money that he's making controls her and is forcing her to pretty much stay with him. I do agree. I do agree that there's a deeper uh, picture or something deeper that's going on other than what I'm seeing and hearing on the surface. Money is for we already know, for the love of money is the root of all evil. We know
Sure.
that. So is she there, like Keisha said, because of the lifestyle that she's used to, and she just don't want to get rid of that lifestyle, but she's not happy. So the
Right. So
money. So
it sounds like fear. So fear is a part of that, outside of maybe other things. And
and
Carolyn said money is the root of all evil, as you just said. People will sell their souls. She need to get a job. And I couldn't, it popped off the screen. She needs to get a job, build her wealth and spiritual soul. So yeah, I just feel like it's a deeper rooted issue
but
within
there could
herself.
also be a fear with that. There could
That's
be a fear
exactly
factor with
that's a part of it. It's exactly what it is because once you step out on that fear, walk out on faith, you like, listen, it may be rough, but I gotta, I gotta make it. I gotta make it work. You
So
know.
he's control. I still feel like she's in a controlling relationship. She's in a controlled marriage because only reason why she's there is because she's been. It's like you're holding a carrot and it's dangling over your head. So
Mhm.
she's been controlled by the money that's in the relationship, and she doesn't feel she can leave because if she's doing her own thing, he's doing his own thing. And the only reason why they're together or she's still there is because of money. Who's controlling who and what is controlling that person?
But is
It,
she really doing her own thing? And what is her own thing?
well, that's the other part that I didn't add that I'm adding now. That's
Hmm.
what Keisha said. There may there may be no control for him. She may see that she doesn't have this life outside of him, so why leave? Fear, greed, love. She could be controlling him by not leaving, and she has her own life on the side. She does have her own life on the side, and so does he.
Mm.
But the only reason, once again, I said so this is the deal. This is the other piece to the scenario. This is why I say money is controlling the marriage. Money is keeping them together. Because if money wasn't controlling them, why not just go ahead on and let it go? Why not just go ahead on and leave? Somebody bite the bullet and just leave. But nobody wants to leave because of the money. Now, she's seeing other people and he sees other people. And the bad thing about it is they know this. But
So here's the thing. So then is it just not on her side? Is it on his side as well? Is it because that it's going to be expensive to get a divorce on both end, on his end and on her end?
but he's making the money. He's the one that is the money maker. He's the one that is, I guess, keeping the wheel rolling on the house. And image is another thing too, is the reason why. And I agree with
Yeah.
Carolyn. It's not the relationship, it's not the marriage, it's her need for the wealth. And you're right, because when people are so used to being with or
Accustomed.
in
Yep.
some, and accustomed to what Keisha said earlier, when they're accustomed to being in a situation, they don't want to lose it. They don't want to let it go. It's like having a trophy that you don't want to get rid of, but you need to go on and get rid of it because you need some space to put something else there, or it's not doing anything for you. Their marriage or them being together is not doing anything for neither one of them. They're just together. Money
So
is
it may be like we said, it may be for, like I said, it might be for a look. Because like we said, a lot of times, people don't really know the inner workings of your marriage unless you share that with them. And even you can share that with them, and even still, they're not going to know because they're not there. And so sometimes the image is everything. It's about a look,
Yep,
like or I'll let other people down, or other people expect us to stay together, those
correct.
types of things.
Yep.
And so a lot of those things play a factor as into why she's not walking away.
And
Why it's a challenge for her.
correct. And Keisha said it. Keisha said money is controlling both of them. Money is control. He knows he has the money. She knows he has it. She also knows she can't leave, because if she leaves, what will she have? And whatever she have, who's to say she won't have to fight forever to get what she feels she rightfully deserves, or whatever the case may be. But the fact of the matter is, money is controlling both of them, and we said it before. I don't think you necessarily have to be a high profile in a high profile marriage. I think that it's the image that is being portrayed by the two of them, that they don't want anybody to know what is really happening. So at some point they keep their outside issues secret, or the inside issues secret.
And with that, you can only do that for so long, because eventually people that's around you, it spills out. You can't fake the funk when you're in a relationship. And I've witnessed women experience like being embarrassed, or being talked down to, etc. And I was just like, wow, it just really floored me and threw me away. But she has to build that confidence in herself to know, okay, I may lose, but I'll have much more peace. Like, this is what I need. This is what I want,
Right.
And so she's obviously not there yet.
And you just said the magic word, peace. And Carolyn said the magic word, peace. We both have we have high profile, and Carolyn had a high profile job which paid great money. We get paid well, but happiness is key. So why stay in it if you're not happy? And we both up jump and rooted and did whatever we wanted to do, and we still are happy, probably happier. But money wasn't the issue, because we made it. Money was not the problem, because we made the money.
And that's the thing that that's the place where she has to get to. She hasn't yet. That money isn't everything. And if it's come before, it'll come again.
It will.
And probably on a greater scale. My thing is too, a lot of people don't think about you holding up somebody else's time. You holding up maybe somebody else's spouse. You may be someone else's spouse. It's just a lot of time that's being wasted.
Right. Being in a control relationship. It's Wind Down Wednesdays. We are talking about control relationship. There's many, many, many issues and many things and many reasons why relationships become controlled and are controlled by the person that's in it. There's always one person that feels like they're controlling the relationship, and it's not always the man, and it's not always the woman. It switches back and forth. But being in a control relationship,
there's always one primary person.
There's always one primary person. But if you are I look at another incident, you're controlling what an individual wears. You're married to them. Every time you go somewhere, you have to control what they put on, how they dress. If they don't wear it, then you get an attitude. I watched the movie not too long ago where she was beautiful, and she was being recognized and getting an award, but her husband controlled what she wore. Sister they went out shopping and bought a beautiful dress, but she couldn't wear it because he tore the dress up.
Oh, wow. And Carolyn says she's missing out on the blessing.
She is missing out on the blessing, because you're blocking your blessing, because you're letting somebody control the situation, control you. And like Keisha said, it can be shifted either way. Why stay in something that someone is controlling your every move? Someone is controlling what you do, how you do it, when you do it, and why. They control when you go to bed, when you go to sleep at night. When they go to sleep, they want you to go to sleep. When they say turn off the TV, stop watching that, they want you to stop watching it. What is the issue, and why are people in so many control relationships and don't want to leave, or don't want to try to handle it or address it or talk about it? Happiness is key.
Definitely. It's just it's so many factors, and that's a loaded question. And I'm agree with Carolyn, jealousy, he's insecure, those men become dangerous. A lot of times the warning signs are there, sometimes they are not. Sometimes other people will speak, or God will speak through other people to you. And sometimes some people hear it and some don't.
Right.
And some women start out as and men, it starts out differently. It doesn't start out that way. But then in the relationship, they see that, oh, this is somebody that I can easily gain control over. And
Right.
so sometimes that becomes a process of grooming until they are controlling that person. So it's so many different variables and factors. I mean,
Which is
1,001 scenarios.
it is. I mean, and then sometimes the situation becomes so scary that you don't feel like you can get out of it.
Or you
Because
don't know your own power. You don't
you don't know
you
your
know
own
your own
strength.
strength. You
Correct.
don't have people around you building into you, speaking into you, encouraging you and saying, hey, let's, make the jump, make the leap. Like, it's gonna
Right.
be hard, and financially you may struggle a little bit, but I mean, happiness or struggle. Happiness or
Right.
struggle. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, once you get to happiness, you'll get to a place where you won't struggle. But she hasn't got there yet.
And the thing about it is, it once again, what's up, Doreen? Thanks for
Hey,
tuning
thanks
in.
for tuning in.
Doreen says it's because they are both content and it's convenient for both parties. But the thing is, why put up with content and convenience when you can find happiness on your own if you decide to take the leap? I mean, why sit in there and be controlled about it over a situation, especially when it comes to money? Because money is the reason why a lot of things happen. Money is the reason why a lot of relationships either stay together or break. We talked the other week, and Tracy was saying that she loves her husband, but if something should happen, her next marriage is going to be for the love of money. Um,
Tracy had me so weak.
Have me weak too. So my thing is, if you're not happy and your money is controlling you, what can you do to get out of that situation? How do you get out? Can you get out? I mean, what are you afraid of?
Exactly.
Carolyn says, start with love, but it gets lost. It does. Girl, you said it. A lot of marriages, we already know that. Me and my sister sitting up here, and everybody that's watching know that if we've all been married before, you start out with the love. Oh, you love their dirty draws. You love the whatever they came in on, the
Yeah.
horse they rode in. They can't do no wrong.
Yeah.
You do, but over a period of time, you still love them, but that love turns into something different. It goes in a different direction.
Yep.
Does it become a controlling factor down the road? What becomes a controlling factor down the road? Is it money? Is it the stability? Is it afraid of being by yourself?
And
Uh,
we in some different times when it comes to, me and you both, we talk to people that are in relationships and those that are single, and it's for those that are single, it's a different time. It's a different ball game right now.
yeah, yeah,
The playing field is totally different. So not saying that, 20 years ago everybody was always honest, but it was a lot different than it is now. So a lot of people are being game, a lot of people are catfishing, etc. From how their lifestyles to, I mean, just look at social media, how you can be whatever you want to be and not necessarily be that.
right.
So it's just different.
And you're right. The lot of things that happen in marriages, why people become controlled by the husband or the wife, because once again, it goes both ways. Like we said, and Keisha said earlier, being controlled in a relationship goes both ways, and it can be the man or the woman. But Doreen also said some people don't love themselves because they don't have a positive village around them. But then again, that husband or that wife is controlling them and preventing them from having that positive village around them, because they don't want them to
to leave. So I mean, it can be on both ends, and he's not putting her in a position where, hey, I know this ain't working out for you. I'm not happy. You're not happy. What can I help to show you? How can I show you how to become financially independent so that we
Right.
can get this divorce? Like, so it's on both sides. So yeah, she may be codependent on the finances, but he's codependent on her just being there. Because that's just something he's become accustomed to.
Right.
And
Right.
so it's something that both people, have to come to a realization. But primarily, since we're talking about her in the situation, it has to be her. She has to dig deep.
She needs to grab a handful of gonads and, you know, figure out what she's going to do, because the point of being afraid of not making decisions for yourself can be very detrimental to one's health,
It's paralyzing. Yeah.
mental and physical. Because I know somebody that they're married, and they're in that relationship, but their husband actually controls the entire marriage, and he's not doing nowhere near what she is doing and what she is bringing to the table. But everything that she does is based around what he thinks, what he wants, how he wants it. You fall into a egg shell, and you become fragile with everything that's going on around you, because he's controlling her. He actually really controls her, and you can see it at times because they become really, really, really fragile. But why stay in that? Why
And
stay
and
in
with
it?
and with that control becomes a lot of abuse. That it's abuse in itself. But if you take on other types of abuse, it becomes, verbal abuse, obviously emotional because you're being controlled this way or that way. It's just really sad.
Right. And Carolyn says this younger generation, what she's talking about, the millennials or
Yeah,
whomever,
yeah.
first of all, they get married young and they don't understand. So therefore they don't have enough time. But then I also look at the fact that if that's the only man that you've been with since high school, Houston, that's a problem. At some point in time, you need to try to go. I ain't telling you to do some stuff. You need to tap the water somewhere and find out what you've been missing. Because, like Carolyn said, she missing out on a blessing.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
and she's right. Living together is more the way now. Easy exit. They got rid of the common law, so they don't count that. Makes no difference now. Um, so hey, Angela, thanks for
what's
tuning
up,
in.
Angela? But being in,
Um,
but yes, Tracy, the entire marriage, he has controlled the whole situation. But she's bringing more to the table than
than he
he ever
is.
had. She
Mm.
stood by his side through thick and thin, and I've seen it. She stood there. So what is she being controlled by? Is he making threats? Is he telling her she'd never be anything without him?
Or is it just? And sometimes it might not be him. Sometimes it's just her.
It's her
Sometimes it's
self-esteem.
in her mind, in her thinking, in her well-being, maybe in her upbringing, what she's seen. A lot of times it's not. They're allowing themselves to be controlled. It's a gamble either way, and it's sad because I've seen so many women. I just want to snatch them up and hug them and be like, "Hey, listen to me. Don't you see this? This is right. This is wrong." But it's like they have to get it on their own time and their own time
Yep.
on their own terms.
Yep.
Because you can tell them 1,000 times and they ain't. You can come from 10 different directions, 10 different people, strangers, family, whoever, and they do not see it or hear it.
Nope. And they won't see it or hear it. And yes, Tracy, it is somewhat of a self-esteem issue. But when you are allowing the other party to control the entire marriage or the entire relationship, and you might not have a self-esteem issue, that's a problem.
You're a puppet. You're a puppet.
And it goes both ways. Women can be controlling and men can be controlling. I
Hmm.
mean, I often say it a lot of times, me, I had to step back and I mean, really, if anybody really knows me, if my friends really, really know me, I really had to step back and stop trying to be so controlling myself, with the relationship that was in, or whatever, or in, or trying to be in, or want to be in, I had to step back and realize I cannot control everything. At some point, I had to let him be the man.
Yeah.
Let him
So
make the decisions. Let him choose what's going to happen. That was very difficult for me to do. So was I in let me
it
say,
makes it more challenging too if
it does. I
you've
was
grown up or
definitely,
you always experienced or
yeah,
allowed people to control you. So then when you get into something new with other people, you like, hey, you get to a point where you're like, hey, I'm not letting this happen no more. And so now you become the exact opposite. First, I was
right,
letting people talk to me crazy and reckless and control me, and now, hey man, wait a minute, I woke up and says, I don't like this. You're not doing this no more. Now
right.
I'm being controlling to someone. You know what I mean? So it's a challenge to find the balance because I found myself swinging on a pendulum on both sides. Like, wait a minute, hold on, you know, and it's not good. You should have equal say. You should have, you should respect that person's feelings. They should respect your feelings, especially in a relationship. Like,
Right.
you're not gonna get everything right. They not gonna get everything right. You both are learning constantly, and so to try to have control of everything, that's not good because you're not allowing them to be who they are. And then if they're trying to control you all the time, they're not allowing you to be who you are. And so
Right.
it's not fair either way. And so you
It's
have to try
not
to find that balance. And it's a challenge because some people don't feel like they're controlling. They don't feel like it's a problem, or they don't, I haven't done anything. I'm cool. This is how it's supposed to be. Some
right.
people are stuck in their ways and they don't want to move forward. They don't want to do something different. They don't
Right.
want to hear the opposite person telling them like, no, I don't like the way you treat me. I don't like the way you talk to me, etc.
And the thing about it is too, see, and that's the thing. I know somebody else. All of these are scenarios. I can speak for myself too, but all of these
Yeah,
are
me too.
scenarios that I know somebody right now that's been dating somebody for like 4 years. Don't want to get married to the person because they are very controlling. Now, love them dearly. Love them with all their mind, heart, body, and soul. And I know this, I know this factually.
Right.
Don't want to get married because that person is very controlling, but on top of being controlling, they have a jealous side of them too. So,
Ooh,
why? I mean, even,
Tracy, babe, yes. We're gonna say it louder for the people in the back.
yeah, we're going to say
Picking
it for
your
the people.
battles is a hard lesson and one that we hope you get quickly.
Uh,
Hey, Joe.
what's going on, Joe Green? Joe Green said he looking for a woman that can help him make decisions when he can't. But see, that's another issue. Helping you make a decision is one thing, but
But controlling the whole decision
always
is another.
controlling the relationship, that's a disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah,
It's a disaster even in the midst of the marriage or the relationship. That is a disaster. So why be in a relationship or be involved with somebody that is going to be very controlling? Now, let's say this. The person may not have always been that way,
correct. That's correct.
but what made them become
Something, right?
controlling?
Something had to happen. Yeah, exactly.
Something had to take place in order for that person to become a controlling person in the relationship. It's the reason I've been married so long. Shut your mouth and pray or leave. I just said that the other day. Somebody specifically asked me. They said, "What do you do when you get upset and you're in a relationship? What do you do if you get mad?" I said, I'm at the point now. I'm like you, Tracy. I don't say nothing.
That's the best thing you can ever do. Why? Because what happens is when you're young, you in the heat in a moment, you want to spit out what you got to say. You say some things, you put them out in the air that you cannot pull back. Yes, you can apologize night and day and night. But at the same time, once you put it out there in the atmosphere, it's out there.
That you
It's
can't
there.
control.
Quiet, think about it, review your
Yep.
thoughts. You know what I mean? Forward, backwards, before get to a place where you cool down. Before you, we always say when we sit down, we talk with couples or people. Do not talk when you're angry. Don't talk to anyone when you're angry. Get
Nope.
to a place where you by yourself, be quiet. If you're a writer, write it out,
Yep.
journal out, cool
Yep.
down first, then come back to the table and communicate, have a conversation about whatever that situation is.
Yep.
But talking in the heat of the moment is the wrong thing to do.
It's definitely the wrong thing to do. My friend, she says it's a 24-hour rule. So I have picked up the 24-hour rule. I'm gonna give it 24 hours. I'm gonna sit back. Now within that 24 hours, I may act like ain't nothing ever happened. But you best to believe that when the 24 hours is up, we're gonna have a discussion. We're gonna talk about who's who and what's what and why it took place. But you're not going to just think that you're going to control the situation without us even discussing it or talking about it or come to some kind of consensus. I mean, that's not going to happen. Shoot, ain't that young?
She said that ain't young. Well, when I say young, Tracy, I mean not
No, that
necessarily the
ain't
age, but the mentality. You know what I mean? Your thought process. We have to go through some stuff to grow up sometimes.
correct. And don't go to bed angry. Once
Yeah.
again, is what I said. I'm gonna give it to 24 hours, and it's not gonna control me to the fact where we can't discuss it or we can't talk about it or I am going to be angry. No, it's not going to have that much control over me and my relationship. That's not going to happen. I will walk around with a smile on my face like ain't nothing ever happened. But you best to believe when that 24 hours is up, we about to have a good conversation because my thought processes I've had time to internalize it and think about it before I come out and say it, because Chanice said it earlier. Once you put it out there in the atmosphere, you really can't take it back.
Mm-mm.
So why are we in a controlled relationship? Why are we in a relationship where the other half or the other person is controlling everything they want us to do or we want them to do? I know people that's like that. I know people. We all know people. What do you tell them? Do you say anything to them? Do you give them advice? What do you say to people when you know they're in a controlled relationship? I'm telling you, I know somebody that's in a
I mean,
controlled relationship.
it depends on your level. It depends on your level of relationship with them. That you can even speak on something so personal as their personal relationship, as their marriage. I just feel like it depends on where you are with that person. You know, some people are open to those type of discussions, and some people are like, "Nah, I don't want to hear," or "How you ain't
Right,
married," or you know what I'm
right.
saying? Like, my marriage different than yours, or etc. You know, it's you just have to know that person. I feel like on a certain level before you can address something as fragile as that.
And but I've asked questions and we've had discussions. It's like, well, why do you stay with them or why are you with them? If you're not as happy as you portray, then why do you maintain the relationship if they are controlling over the entire relationship? And they were like, well, I love them. They are a caring person. They do this, they do that. We go here, we go there. There is not an issue with them spending money, and the beat goes on, but they are very controlling. I mean, extremely controlling. These things I know factually. They
Mm-mm.
are. I have seen it firsthand. I've experienced it firsthand and I've seen it. So
Yep, that's exactly it. Maintaining the facade.
maintain the facade, and I often ask the question, why? It's like your happiness, I don't know, and do you want to be happy for people? You want to be really happy for them, but how can you be happy for them if you know
That they're not happy.
that they're not happy because of the controlled environment that they're in that relationship? How?
I just feel like at the end of the day, if you you spoke to them about it, they have to get to a point where they're sick and tired of being controlled. Until that happens, they gonna stay right where they are.
They are.
comfortably.
And
And it's really sad because time is gonna pass, experience is gonna happen, years are gonna pass. There's a lot of things that they could be passing up on as far as blessings, etc. But until they wake up, until they see themselves, something's going to happen where
right.
the light bulb's going to click on, like, oh man, you know what? They may wake up one day and be like, you know what? I can't do this no more. I'm tired. So I mean, it may have to take that. It may have
It,
to take something tragic. Who knows? Everybody's
may.
tournament is totally different. But I feel like you said, if you are someone who has a close relationship with someone and you feel you could talk to them on it, talk to them on that level, about it. Because it may have always been there, but nobody said nothing. Maybe someone saying something can awaken it. You don't know. So I mean, that's what I encourage you to do. But I feel like everybody experiences are different, and some people get it, some people have to go through some things to get it. It's just like that.
And that's a great question, Tracy. Who
Yeah.
stays longer, the man or the woman? I guess that depends too. It depends
Yes,
on
it
what
does.
they're staying for.
Yeah.
Are you staying because they, the sex life is good? Are you staying because they fine? Are you staying because of the money? Are you staying because of the house? Are you staying because of the children? What are you staying for? I mean, that's a good question. And
Yeah.
who leaves women or men? I think I read somewhere when people are married, women ask for a divorce, the rate is higher than a man asking for a divorce. Why is the rate higher? Is because women have found out that their mate was cheating, so therefore that was the bottom line. So therefore they asked for the divorce. So that's why the numbers, this is what I read. I can't remember where I read it at, but the numbers are higher when women want out of a relationship before the man does. And it normally because of something that the man did. I read that. I'm sure you can go back and Google something.
Look it up.
that women ask for divorce is higher than men because they found out that their mate was cheating or did something that he didn't have any business doing. So therefore,
it's a done deal.
It's a done deal. Now,
It's a deal breaker.
And I do know this too. Something I've talked to several people. Sometimes if the man knows that his wife is about to go and ask for the divorce, he'll try to beat her to the table as though it matters. I don't think it matters who asks for it first or who wants out first. Happiness is the key.
Exactly.
Don't be in a control relationship where you just don't have no say. I mean, I know people, and
it's terrible.
I feel bad for them. I really feel
I do, and I don't, because especially if I know they've been told a gazillion times, a gazillion ways by a gazillion people, and they just still just there. I just feel like it's something that they got to walk through. That's their journey that they own, and they have to walk that path. So that path may be another year longer. It may be another 6 years longer. I don't know. But we always say if you see something, say something, speak up, especially if you got that relationship with them.
But see, sometimes we can interject ourselves in a relationship as friends, family, or whatever that we probably shouldn't, because at the end of the day, if they want to stay in a control relationship, let them stay in it.
It's on them.
They're gonna eventually turn.
They're gonna get tired. They're gonna get tired.
Yep, they'll turn on you because you're trying to help them.
Yep.
Trying to make sure that good things happen to them, but at the end of the day,
they have to want that for themselves. Yeah.
So why interject yourself in something that somebody wants and that they don't want to get out of? I'm not going to be in a control relationship. I have gotten better, Lord knows. I have. Yes,
Jesus. I have too.
Yes, Jesus.
It's a tough place, I tell you.
Oh my God. I have learned over the years to now sit back, relax, and let him do whatever he is going to do. Because whatever his decisions are and whatever he does, it's just not going to be for me. It's going to be for us.
There you go.
So to not
and anytime it's not a flow, We're gonna speak up on it.
Exactly. But not to have control over certain things, it has been very difficult for me, but I have gotten 100% better because I used to try to control a whole lot of stuff when I was in the past relationships, and I mean control it. So find yourself. I will tell individuals this:
Yeah.
find who you are.
Yeah.
Find yourself. Dig deep into your soul and find out who you are first before you go changing anything or running out the door or whatever the case may be, even if it includes therapy.
Yeah.
Yep. I recommend therapy for everybody. I do. I mean, I talk to a lot of people and I know some therapists. I recommend
therapy and counseling is the best thing. And in the African American community, it's such a stigma that if you are getting any type of counseling or any type of therapy, that you're crazy. And no, it's the exact opposite. If you don't get that type of therapy, if you don't go to those counseling sessions, you are going to be crazy.
Right.
You're going to drive yourself crazy, and everybody can't handle those certain things on your own. And it's not meant to. We want put on the earth alone.
Nope.
And so you can't go through life that way with that thought process.
You cannot. And I do also recommend, even before you get into your next relationship, go to counseling.
Just you by yourself for yourself. Do something for you. Do something for you to make you whole. And even if you are married or engaged, just go.
And sometimes those that are still married and still feel like they're in a control relationship or a control marriage need to still go to therapy, need to go sit down and talk to somebody. Because there's always that other person that can help you see what you don't see.
Yep.
And help your mate see what they're not seeing.
Nothing's wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Sometimes we have to trust that process. And we have to process that together in order to make it work, in order to make it happen. But I do recommend therapy. I do recommend that you find who you are, because we all had to go through some stuff in order to realize who we are right now. It just didn't happen overnight.
Yeah, and it's important to know what your identity is and who your identity is, and because that's a great factor, and being in any relationship, whether it's with your sister, your cousin, a lot of times people don't look. I mean, I'll show something really small, like, for example, a lot of people don't look at where they fall as far as their family. So if you're the younger sibling, in a relationship, you're kind of used to being told what to do because you're the younger sibling. So naturally in a relationship, you're okay with being told what to do. With the older sibling, for example, you're used to telling everybody what to do. You're the boss. You tell everybody what to do. And so when you get into a relationship, that's what you want to do. You've been the boss. And so little small things like that, those are just examples, or some reasons why, or some examples of how that gets intertwined into your relationship.
Absolutely.
Whether it be you dating, whether it be you engaged, or you're married. And it will continue to come up, as you grow as an individual, whether you're with anyone or not.
Exactly. And just because you're the oldest sibling in the family does not mean that you're in control of everything.
It does not.
Control relationships varies. It goes from one extreme to the next. It's not always the marriage. It's not always the boyfriend and girlfriend or the significant other. It's families too. It's siblings. It's mothers and daughters.
It's at work.
It's at work. It is. It's at church. It's in the community. It's everywhere. So the whole thing about it is, you have to find who you are. You have to realize who self is. Find yourself first. And it's a lot of people, a lot of women that are single and can't figure out why they are single. How about you go sit down and talk to a therapist?
All those things play a dynamic into who you feel you are, into what your identity is. And
Right.
it's important to identify and recognize those things,
And
because
some
you're gonna take that with you,
correct.
because it is you.
It is. There are some men that are in the same situation that women are in. You wonder why you are single.
Yep.
You have to figure out, why are you controlling your emptiness? Why are you because you are in control of yourself. If you're single, you in control of that.
Right.
You are in control of that relationship, and it's called self relationship. And you need to go sit down and talk to somebody and try to figure it out, and then get into a relationship where both of you all are compatible, love each other, opposites to attract,
respect each other, communicate often, about everything, anything, everything, from the smallest detail to the most extravagant.
Yep. And at the end of the day, it is all about you. I mean, it really is. But never ever, and me and Shanice would say this all the time, because if you don't have God controlling the relationship,
listen, you in trouble.
That's the missing link.
Yes.
If you don't, I mean, you may not believe in God, Allah, Voodoo,
whoever, right? Whatever you feel.
I don't care who it is.
Right.
The light bulb, whatever.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I love the Lord. I'm sorry, I love the Lord.
There you go.
A curtain rod, I don't care. If that's who you
personal.
believe
that's
in,
a personal relationship.
That's right. It's a personal relationship. Whatever and whoever.
That's right.
Find it and be steadfast and stay focused and find yourself. And don't be so controlling. I'm telling y'all, I had to do that.
Woo, me too.
Baby.
It's tough. It's a daily process.
It is. Yeah. If you don't have controlling you, there is no relationship.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. If you don't have God controlling you, if you don't have God, yes, I agree. I mean, because there are some people that forget. Somebody asked me, and I just had this question asked to me the other day. They asked me what happened in my marriage. I said, first of all, when you forget who God is, things have a tendency to come in.
Yeah.
And the one thing that will come between you, if they know that it's a space, it's called the devil. That's, and the devil comes in all many shapes, forms, and fashions. And unfortunately, the devil was another female that, the devil knows what to do when your relationship, because I believe there are people that can be powerful couples. I believe that. I really believe that. But they only are powerful through experience, through the things that they've been through and their faith and their belief in God. So just keep your faith, keep the belief in God. I'm not going to go on a tangent.
And not even just that, just the transparency and owning who you are, your truth. If you're a person that's controlling a relationship, own that. Go back to the drawing board and say, you know what is causing me to be this way? Like, go back. And that's why we say get on that couch. That's why we say talk to that counselor, talk to that therapist, because they will take you back to things that you may have erased in your mind, things that you may have, wanted to forget or place to the side. It's okay to own that truth. Okay, you know what? This is a part of me. How can I change that? What can I do? So it's an individual thing. You have to want to. You can't say, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Or I'm just like that. Or I'm stuck in my ways. Like, no, those are all choices. Those are choice words. That's a choice that you're making to stay just like that.
Yep.
And so individually, when you look at those things, you will address your things in your relationship differently, whether it's with your cousin, with your mama, with your aunt, with your uncle, just period. You have a different perspective on how you approach things, how you approach situations. You'll be a lot more cautious, or other people's feelings and respects their views, etc.
Yeah.
You have to start somewhere, but if you can't be honest with yourself, it's never going to work.
It's not. And once again, yes, Tracy, it is easy to fall into being a control freak because the mama's the husband or the boyfriend is looking for a mama.
That's fact.
The wife or the daughter or the woman is looking for a daddy. I mean, so the fact of the matter is, if you know this ahead of time, don't let that control your relationship. If you can identify that,
call it out. Yeah. Work on it. Yeah.
Exactly. Don't let that control the relationship. But once again, we're gonna go back to the piece that once you recognize it, you're gonna need to sit down and talk to somebody about that.
You got to do something about it. You cannot let it continue.
Yes. What's
Hey,
up, AJ?
AJ? That's all right. You can run this back. You can run it back. It's okay. We're on Wednesday.
Rewind and go listen to it.
On Wednesdays, you go wind it back. Wind it back.
And Carolyn, you are out there. It is, Carolyn. See, it's always when you know that somebody else can relate to what you're saying. I mean, because once you lose sight of God, it only takes one thing to slip in real quick. You know,
all it takes is a crack, honey.
Just a crack. And I don't mind sharing my story. I don't. Now let me get it. Don't let it. I'm telling y'all, don't let me get it all twisted. I don't want y'all to think I was an angel. Never cheated, never ever. And I don't believe in that. I can count on my hand the men that I done slept with. This one right here, one. In my 56 years of living, so I'm pretty darn good. The coochie ain't got no miles on it, so I'm happy to say that. And that was only because of the way I was raised.
Okay, see, that was a self thing. You made a self choice. That's not something that you want to do. So yeah.
My thing is, we all have choices. I became controlling. I did, because I felt like I had to, for me to not be
taken advantage of. It's a defense mechanism. Me too.
Because when I tell y'all, I grew up with staying covered up for Jesus. I did. I grew up that way. Literally stayed covered up. My body, I just stayed, some pieces and parts I did not show until I got older, because I became controlling because the situation that I was in was a controlling situation. So I'm not going to sit and be in another controlling situation when I feel like, oh shoot, you can take control yourself. So it's not good if the both of you are trying to control something when you're never sitting down to discuss what you need to do, how you need to go about doing it in order for it to work and fix it. So that's my piece of my story, but I had to release some of that control. I had to release some of it in order to be where I am today.
Yeah. Because control keeps you in bondage, and it's not freedom.
There you go, Carolyn.
And to be in bondage or to have somebody else not be free, it's not okay.
And you're right, Angela. A lot of times, that's how men will. They will. But you got to recognize it. You got to know it. You got to see it before that happens. And then once again, I still feel like if you're going to do anything, you got to go to therapy. At this point in my life, I'm going to therapy. Me and my boo going to therapy.
I know that's right.
I know what I want. I am no longer that controlling individual that I was, because I have learned to let that piece of me go. I may have a little bit left, because you just ain't gonna walk over me. I ain't gonna bow down.
I mean, to a certain degree, it's good to have some, but not the whole.
Right.
The whole. Not where I was.
Right. I'm definitely
that's not a good place. But where I am now, where I can balance it, is a great thing. Yes.
And with some people, Tracy, it is a power struggle. It becomes a power. Controlling a relationship becomes a power struggle.
It does.
Which causes it to blow up.
It's an exhausting process. Oh yeah, it's exhausting.
Recognize it and address it, and then overcome those obstacles and keep it moving. Yes, I ain't got no low self-esteem, but you're right, Carolyn. That is me. That's who I am. I mean, but I ain't gonna bow down. I'm just not gonna bow down. I'm a learned listener right now in my life. I have
I
learned
know
to
that's
sit
right.
back,
Yes.
take a deep breath, and listen.
Let's
Where
say
people
that.
are,
And let's think. Let's really think this thing through.
yeah, let's think about this. Let's think about
Hmm. Hmm.
everyone needs to have some sense of control, be confident and compromise. That is correct.
Yep. That
Compromise
balance. That's that balance.
is called balance. But if we can sit here and tell you anything, don't let your relationship be controlled by something that the two of you can handle together instead
Yep.
of being one person doing it. How about you try to do it together as one? Because if
That's
you're
right.
married, the Bible says once a man findeth the wife, he finds a good thing. Now you become his
And
soul.
obtains favor from the Lord.
Yes,
Yes.
obtain it.
Yes.
Obtain it. You will have favor. Favor ain't fair, but some of us got it. Favor ain't fair, but I got it. But at
Listen.
the end of the day, you got to figure it out, and you cannot
Do it
do it
alone.
by yourself.
Mm-mm.
Got to have
It
help.
wasn't meant to be done alone.
That's why if you're single, go on out there, see a therapist, go talk to somebody. I
Take care of
recommend
you.
counseling so
Take
they
care
can
of
heal
you.
you.
Your mental health, your mental well-being, your inner strength, all those things before you get into a relationship with another being.
Yes, so you can get direction. Yes, we need to pray, cease without praying, but
Definitely.
God put therapists in place for a reason.
Yeah.
It's
We all have a calling, and that is
yes.
theirs.
If you
So
if
let
you
them
got
do what they
insurance,
called to do.
if you got insurance, go see a therapist because don't become controlled or in a control relationship. And if you are in a control relationship, we're still recommending that you go see a therapist. This is
Yep.
the bad thing about it too. If a husband and wife, men don't normally want to go to a therapist because they don't feel like nothing is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, then go by yourself.
You got to start somewhere. You can't put it off on them. It's an individual thing. So start somewhere, and maybe he'll tag along, or
Yep,
start somewhere, and maybe she'll tag along.
correct.
But you got to take the step for you.
Once a month, go to a therapist. Once a month. I mean, if you got insurance, I'm sure the insurance will cover it once a month. It'll cover a chiropractor. I know it'll cover a therapist. And you
Yeah,
can
but
go outside
look into it.
your place of business. You do not have to go to the one that is recommended on your job. People, I'm telling you, I talk to many people and I know a whole lot of things about this in particular. I do know that. So
Yeah.
in order for you to find yourself and not to be in a control relationship and not to control the relationship yourself,
Mm-hmm.
seek out a therapist, sit down and talk to them so they can help you and they can help your relationship, the one you're in.
Or the one you may get in soon in the
Absolutely.
future.
Because God is about to bless you single people out there with a man and a woman. Hallelujah.
Hey, there we go.
You better
Hey,
touch
the
and
two or
agree.
more gathered in my name, I'm in the midst. So yeah,
Hey, you better touch and agree with that.
that's
So
right.
y'all know what time it is. Y'all know where we at, what we doing, what's going on. We come to the end of the show where
Yes.
we got to get up out of here because I got to swing over to another graduation. Then I got to run
We got place
home.
to be. We out here. We got
Man,
stuff to do. It's warm out. It's nice out. It's daylight still. We got stuff to do. We
I need to
love
get my
y'all.
workout in because this 56-year-old body got to maintain the look when I put on that two-piece on the beach somewhere this summer. I don't know where, but it's going to happen.
I know that's right.
So I'm just trying to, stay sane, stay mental, stay healthy because we
Yeah.
want you guys to stay healthy. Continue to wear your mask, even though the mandate is about to be lifted. Continue to wear your mask, be safe, wash your hands, take a shower, brush your teeth, gargle with Listerine, whatever it is, try to stay clean as possible.
Yeah.
But we got to get up out of here.
We're gonna give our positive quotes. It's Wind Down Wednesday. Y'all know how we do it.
Yeah, we
Tune
got
in
to get
every
up.
single Wednesday at 6 o'clock. If you got a subject you want to talk about, you can send it to Tuck Radio, or you can send it to me, Chanice Gibson Arnold, on Facebook, Instagram. Thank you, Carolyn. Thank you, worldwide viewers globally.
Yes,
Thank
thanks
you. You may
everybody.
not chime in, but we see you. We know you're
Yes,
watching, and we appreciate you. Share this, like this, comment, and we're gonna do positive quotes. So my positive quote is, invest in yourself. And the reason I'm saying that is because it is important to make yourself a priority, mentally, physically, emotionally, all those things. You can't be whole as a person and help anyone, your children, your soon-to-be husband, if you're single now, in the future, your husband, if you're not taking care of self. So take care of self, do self-checks, check in with other people, check on them. And that's my positive quote.
Yes, believe in self, love yourself, because at the end of the day, we don't want you to control the relationship. We don't want you to be in control of the relationship. We want you to be able to control yourself and how you feel and what's going on, so you can be better for somebody else. When you meet them, when you marry them, when you love them, whatever else the beat goes on. And please do like and share. So we are also on YouTube. So if you don't have Facebook, tell the people to go to YouTube, because we're on YouTube. And y'all know me, but I'm gonna tell y'all this. If you get an invitation from me, you know something is about to happen real soon. So keep an eye out on the invitation, because it's coming soon. How about that? So y'all know what I'm going to say. Self-love, one love. We love you. But at the end of the day, it's already, what you say, Carolyn? Let's talk about all these shootings of our Black men. You know,
Not this show. Next time.
we can talk about that on the
week.
next one. I tell you what, how about we talk about that next Wednesday? We got you, Carolyn. We'll talk about that next Wednesday, with hopes that we can have some Black males on here to explain how they feel and what they're going through, and the fear that they have with all the shootings that's taking place around the country, but definitely here in the city, Cincinnati, state of Ohio. We can do that next week, so tune in next week, and that's what we're going to talk about. We love you, Angela. We love you too.
Thank you.
We'll do it on the next show. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, self-love, one love. We got all kinds of love. Ain't nothing but love for you, honey. Ain't nothing but love for you, honey.
What you got?
Yeah, love. Ain't nothing but love for you, baby. Yeah. So we love you. Take care of yourself. And y'all know me. It's always better to give than it is to receive. We'll see you next week.
See you next Wednesday.